Alabama, and Beyond, Creating a Lasting Legacy by Dottie Childers Gravely, Chapter 2, Trying Out My Wings. As completion of high school drew near, all the clubs I had enjoyed so much began to seem pointless. I was restless and ready to experience life out there somewhere. Mother cautioned me that life could be tough and dangerous. She told me the story of the baby bird who abandoned its nest before it could fly. The cat ate it. I told her another version. The mother would not teach little bird to fly. One day the cat climbed the tree and ate little bird. It couldn't fly away because it had never tried its wings. The goal that I chose to be published next to my senior yearbook photo read, Try Out My Wings. But after high school graduation in May 1965, I could not find a job that I needed so badly to save for college. A new junior college would be opening that fall in Decatur with busing provided, one of the positive contributions of Governor George Wallace to our state. In July, my oldest and married brother, Bobby, came from Chicago for vacation. He felt sure I would find work there and offered to let me stay with him. He was right. I found a job the second day out. So at age 18, I had my first secretarial job, which paid $1.25 per hour, minimum wage. I was taking dictation, transcribing from a dictaphone, and typing at Turner Manufacture Company, a factory and wholesaler for wall decorations of all types. I spent 10 cents a day for a Coke to go with my lunch, a sandwich, and I paid my bus fare. Almost all my other earnings went to savings. I was in the adult world, all right. Everyone was older than I was. I felt compelled to act mature overnight. Not only was I surrounded by adults, but also by sinners. An older black secretary named Ethel seemed to be the only one there with a personal faith. It was harder to keep my flame glowing. Slowly, my thought patterns were more filled with contriving cute remarks to make at work than thinking about God. Prayer lessened. Eventually, the New Testament in my purse was left at home. I was not a good Christian example to my colleagues, although they knew that I was a nice girl. It had always bothered me that I was not popular with boys in Alabama, but it was against my standards to date non Christian guys. Really consecrated Christian boys were as scarce as hen's teeth. But during those days of shallow commitment in Chicago, I lowered my standard. I had my first ever date with a young man at work who was a nice person but did not have a testimony of being born again. We dated casually for a while. The reason guys didn't notice me, I decided, was because I didn't give off the vibrations of being loose. All right then, it would be hard, but I would try to be looser. I would have to work at it since it was not my personality. But one day a letter arrived from my mother. She had heard that I was dating and offered this advice: keep your purity. She never wrote me that before or since. Deep down, I loved and respected my parents so much that I never wanted to hurt them in any way. I discarded all my resolutions to be a naughty girl. On her watch, Mother was not going to stand by and see her investment into my life ruined. I'm part of her ongoing legacy, preserved through her watchfulness. My siblings can also testify of her timely advice and counsels that were like apples of gold in their lives. Proverbs 25:11. During my 5 month stay with my brother, he took me once to a hillbilly church in Justice, Illinois. It was great to hear the familiar hymns again. Once I went with the two ladies downstairs to their nearby Dutch Reformed church. I had never seen so many blue-eyed blonde people together in my entire life. Although the church had a formal air about it, I could not resist venting some tears as they sang a hymn about a deer about to falter, panting for the brooks of water based on Psalm 42. I was that deer, thirsty and faltering, not really doing anything immoral, but lost in a strange forest. Just before Christmas 1965, I decided to return to Alabama. Thanks to Bobby, who cared about his younger sister's education and offered his home and guidance to me in a big city, I had a bundle of savings for college. I should have been excited and expectant, but somehow I just felt blah. Something vague was missing, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Points to ponder. Number one, how can parents prepare their children for adult independence? Number two, are there ways we can help others around us to achieve their education or other life goals? Number three, how can we keep spiritually fit if outnumbered by unbelievers?